how to make green lighter and create beautiful variations like these. The easiest way to make your green look lighter is to add a bit of water to your paint and simply apply it a bit more thinly. But if you want to create a whole range of beautiful light greens, the best way of doing that is to start with mixing a bit of yellow into your green. And look how this instantly makes it lighter and turns it into this beautiful bright green. And then if we add more yellow, we get an even lighter green. Let's add a little bit of green still to create different light greens. Look, isn't that beautiful? Now let's go with even more of the yellow. To make it even lighter, beautiful spring greens. And then if you want to mute them down a little bit, you can add white to them. Let's do that. Let's clean the brush a bit. And then go with this one and add just a little bit of white to it. And see where we end up. Can you see how this is different? Then let's go with the next one and add white to this. And now our greens start to lean more towards a mint green color. And then if we do it with this light green we have here, we get these beautiful soft pastel greens. Let's make it even lighter. So beautiful. And then if you want to lean completely into a mint green version, you can use your green and just mix in white, like no yellow. And then you get this beautiful, strong mint green. And the more white you add, the lighter it's going to be. And for these light versions, you need a lot of white and just a tiny amount of green. Often for beginners, they use too much of the color and then need to mix in huge amounts of white in order to get it lighter. So in this case, I would really suggest to start with the white and then just mix in tiny amounts of your greens. I would like to get this one even lighter. And as you can see, I've got a bit of green left on my brush and it's not easy to get it lighter. Beautiful. And then, if you want to mute these colors down a little bit, you can just take a tiny bit of black and put them into your mix. Just a tiny bit. And this will turn your colors into slightly more natural mixes. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? And by the way, the green I'm using here is a phthalo green, which is a rather dark green, as you can see. And all the paints I'm using here are acrylic paints. And let's do the same thing with the brighter greens up there. So let's take this one and put in a tiny bit of black. A bit more. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? I adore these muted colors. Oh, let's go on here. I mean, if you want to paint nature sceneries, these colors can come in quite handy. And then let's make a few different ones. And you can go on and on with these colors, you see, like always changing, making different versions. So beautiful. And now let me show you one simple trick how you can mix these beautiful light greens without using any green actually. You just need yellow, and this works with pretty much any yellow you have, and then you mix in a tiny amount of black. And this will turn your paint into these beautiful olive green colors. Look. And then if you add some white to that, we'll make them more green in a moment, but let's just start with making this one lighter. Now it's still pretty yellow leaning. But yeah, let's mix in some more black.
And by the way, if you enjoy learning about colors and acrylic painting, you can find more ways to learn with me in the description below. I have some free resources there, and I'll also share my upcoming courses and guides as they become available.
This can be such a beautiful addition to the greens you usually use. Let's have a really clean olive green mix. We use yellow and quite a bit of the black. Yes. Look at that. Let's make it even darker, shall we? See to where we can push it. Beautiful. Yeah. And now I really want to mix some green in. I think that would look amazing. Now we left a bit the how to mix a light green topic. But yeah, if you're interested in dark greens or just green variations, which you probably are, then this might be interesting as well. Let's just make a few more from this color palette. Because why not? Look, so beautiful. Now let's make those lighter. I love these greens which turn into sage green colors. I don't know why, but I always come back to them. So beautiful. And in this painting, I actually used these colors here. There's no real green in there. I mixed all these colors from just yellow, black and white. So this mix up here, but I love those. Let's make some more. Let's just make some more mixes and see what we can come up with. Beautiful. Also a bit different than these, isn't it? There's a bit more black and a bit more yellow than here. So, you know, tiny differences. Yeah. So tiny differences turn out so different when you mix them. I'd like to have this one lighter. Yeah, beautiful. And now it's up to you to find out which lovely light greens and other green variations you can mix from your green. Because any green can be turned into a lovely color palette.